This video is on a piece of general music theory that's very important to understand when it comes to the Leaving Cert melody writing question, and that's key signatures. And key signatures are this little thing, these little symbols that you see at the beginning of each line, written just right after the treble clef or bass clef if you happen to be using one. And this tells you what key your melody is to be written in, which is something that's very important in all music, particularly in this question in the Leaving Cert. Depending on which key you're in, there'll be a different symbol or a different collection of symbols at the beginning, and every one of them is going to be made up of some amount of either these symbols, which looks like a little hashtag, and these symbols, this symbol here, which is like a little lowercase b. Now the hashtag one is called sharp, so you might have a certain amount of sharps at the beginning of your line, and this one that looks like a lowercase b, that's called flat, and you may have a certain amount of flats at the beginning of your line. And the amount of sharps or flats you have will tell you what key your melody is to be written in. Now I've got them all written down here. Oops. I've got them all written down here just so that we can quickly go through how many sharps or flats correspond to each key signature. So let's get a new color here. So if you've got no sharps or flats, then your melody is to be written in the key of C major. There are, of course, corresponding minor keys to each of these, but I'm just going to stick to the major ones for this video. I'll do the minor ones in a later video. So, 1 sharp is equal to G major, means you're in the key of G major. 2 sharps means you are in D major. 3 sharps is A major. 4 sharps is E major again. 5 sharps B major, and let's go down a little further. 6 sharps is F sharp major. You can also have 7 sharps, which is C sharp major, but I don't think they're going to give you in that key. So this might seem quite difficult to learn off. You've got a lot of letters there. So when I was learning this, I was taught a little mnemonic that just helped me remember all of these, the order of the different keys, and that was just something. It sounds a bit silly, but it might help you learn it a little bit. So it is: children go dancing after eating battered fish. Now that sounds a bit silly, it sounds a bit ridiculous, but it's just something to help you remember it. As you can see, the first letter of each word is our list of keys over the other side. It's just something to help you remember them. So this is the sharp keys. This is the keys that have a certain amount of sharps at the beginning of each line. The other ones you need to know are these ones. Let me just get a different color. So, as we said before, no sharps and flats is C major. 1 flat in this instance is F major. Okay. 2 flats then is B flat major. Again, you can see that little flat symbol there. It's like a lowercase b. Then 3 flats is E flat major. 4 flats is A flat major. 5 flats is D flat major. And then finally 6 flats is G flat major. Okay, and again we've got a little mnemonic just to help us remember this, remember the flat keys, and that is: children find bears exciting and deer grumpy. Now, like I said before, these mnemonics often sound a bit silly. To be honest, the sillier the better. It just helps you remember them a bit more. We've got the first of each of our first letter of each word is our flat key signatures here. So we've got our sharp ones with a mnemonic. Children go dancing after eating battered fish. And we've got our flat keys with a mnemonic. Children find bears exciting and deer grumpy. Now, like I said before, there are also corresponding minor keys to each of these key signatures, but that's something we can look at in a later video. Okay, so why is all of this so important to the Leaving Cert melody writing question? Well, there are lots of reasons. There are a lot of different reasons, but number one main thing you need to know is that when you're doing your Leaving Cert melody writing question, you have to end on do. So in solfege terms, you have to end on do. That means you have to end on your actual key note. So for example, if you're in the key of G, you have to end on the note G. If you're in the key of B flat, you have to end on the note B flat. Okay, that's in your whole 16 bars, you have to end on do. That's one really important reason you need to know the names of the different key signatures. Another very important reason is that you need to know which chords correspond to which note of the key. So for example, if you're in the key of G, your chord 1 will be G and your chord 5 will be chord D. And the reason that's so important is because you have to know your chords for your cadence points. So know chords for cadence points. One of the really important things in the Leaving Cert melody question is your cadences. You have to get them right. You have to have your imperfect cadences and your perfect cadences in all the right places. And in order to do that, you need to know which chord is chord 1, which is chord 5, which is chord 4, etc. And in order to do that, you need to know what key the piece of music is in. So that's really, really important. And the other main reason this is really important for the Leaving Cert's melody questions is because you're going to have to do your modulation and you need to know which notes have accidentals in front of them. So accidentals for modulation. So for example, if you're in the key of C and you're coming to your modulation, you're modulating to the dominant, which would be G. So you need to know exactly which notes you sharpen in order to modulate to the key of G. It would be F sharp, because that's note 4 of the C major scale. This is all stuff we'll cover in much more detail in later videos, and it will make a lot more sense then. But for the moment, you just need to know how important it is to really know those key signatures and to know them off by heart. And I would recommend that you learn off the mnemonics. They'll really help you know this by heart and really help you answer this question as best you can.